Hello, my name is John, and today we'll be reading Nervous Nancy Has Lost Control of Her Crazy Party by Schlichter on Townhall, March 11th, 2019. The only thing that should keep you from roaring in laughter as Nancy Pelosi freaks out trying to keep a lid on the freak show that is the Democratic caucus is the knowledge that the freshmen freakettes giving her fits would impose an ideology of tyranny and murder if given the chance. But you can still allow yourself a good giggle as you watch Nancy's dreams of a Democratic majority die on the altar of anti-Semitism, taking away your health insurance and banning cheeseburgers. This was on display as the Democrats struggled to find a way to publicly pretend to condemn their superstar bigots' hatred of Jews without annoying all the Democrats for whom hatred of Jews is a key component of their intersectional web of leftist prejudices. Nancy essentially tried to excuse it by explaining that Representative Ilhan Omar is too stupid to know she's anti-Semitic, which is, to be fair, is plausible. She could only get her caucus to agree to condemning all prejudice, including the tsunami of prejudice against Pacific Islanders that we all see around us so much in our daily lives. Take that, people who hate Pacific Islanders. Of course, the Democrats never name the actual bigot because the Democrat base is affirmatively pro-bigotry. They hate Jews, Christians, white people, dissident non-white people, men, women who look like men, and people who blaspheme against the creepy climate cult, among others. The list of bad people who are bad goes on and on. The key element of intersectionality is that it always intersects with ugly prejudices against groups that leftists see as insufficiently supportive of their sick ideology. Which is Nancy's problem, because she won the House back last year by hiding the left-wing evil bubbling under the surface of her party's collective dogma. She defeated the feckless Paul Ryan, what a loser, by running candidates in largely purple suburban districts who promised that if the voters tossed out the squishy Republican incumbent, the sensible Democrat moderate challenger would not go to Washington and do anything kooky. And of course, the Lucy's football phenomenon was in full effect as these Nanchurian candidates trooped up Capitol Hill and promptly got sucked into the crazy. Suddenly, instead of playing the fake, moderate game, Nancy's minions had to suck up to a bunch of braying bimbos from safe blue seats. All the nonsense Reps Tlaib, Omar, and Ocasio-Cortez spewed on social media and MSNBC thrilled the Democratic base. But what normal people heard was, "We hate Israel. We hate the idea that you can have cars. And we hate you." And the fact that these commie-come-latelys are so inept is icing on the cake. Representative Omar couldn't help but run her foul mouth about what she really thought of the Jews. Representative Ocasio-Cortez could not manage to let fly with her Green New Deal without making the rookie mistake of telling the people what was actually in it. Free money for those unwilling to work? Maybe that dog hunts among the simpletons in her New York City district, but in America, not so much. Not only does it rile up Nancy because these clumsy radicals have stolen the spotlight and made it immeasurably harder to pull off her "we're sensible" scam on the swing seat suckers, but it rankles because none of these debutantes have paid their dues. Nancy and the rest of her leadership worked for years and years accumulating power, rising through the ranks. And when they finally regained power, suddenly these newbies who paid no dues but have a lot of Twitter followers showed up and took over the Democratic agenda. That's got to be infuriating. And you can see it when Nancy talks about them. She can't say it out loud, but you know what's running through her mind is, who the hell do these upstarts think they are? Well, Nancy, they seem to be your party's future. The thing is that the Democrat base loves them. These radicals are out of the moderate closet and letting their freak flags fly. Death to Israel, death to borders, death to private property, death to Big Macs. Nancy could barely manage to applaud while staying seated. The idea that America will never be socialist. These radicals are now forcing her to stop hiding the party's real objectives far too soon. The truth was only supposed to come out after they had hold of total power, not so early that we normals could wake up and stop the onslaught. But now 2020 is going to provide a whole bunch of great questions to smart Republican candidates, in the off chance there are any. Do you support the Democratic plan to ban cars and planes? Do you support the Democrat plan to take away your private insurance and force you onto government health care? Do you support the Democrat plan to abandon Israel? Do you support the Democratic plan for open borders? Do you support the Democratic plan for illegal alien voting? Do you support the Democratic plan to allow doctors to kill babies? Even the wimps in the purple districts, the gooey mommies who found Trump icky, and their Frito-Con hubbies who said, "Yes, dear," to wifey's command to vote against the part of bad orange man last November, are going to think twice about backing these nutty Dem plays. It's all fun and games until Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez shows up and tells you that you got to lose the SUV you use to cart Caden and Ashley to soccer practice. The moderate Dems will have to turn on the radicals or get turned out. It already happened once as a couple dozen Dems joined Republicans to add an amendment to a gun grab bill that mandated reporting illegal aliens to ICE if they tried to buy a firearm. Ocasio-Cortez and her group opposed it. In fact, the little commissar even threatened to put these rebels on a list to be terminated via primary now for daring to squints real hard, want to report to immigration authorities any illegal aliens trying to illegally buy guns. Do it, AOC, do it! Nothing like intra-pinko cannibalism. Turn the Democratic Party into the Donner Party. While you consume each other, I'll be here gobbling cruelty-free, carbon-neutral popcorn. But of course, there is always a chance that things don't go the way we hope, and that there are enough historically ignorant suckers in the big blue cities to allow these freaks to take over the levers of power. Sure, the Democrats' pain is hilarious, but the fact that a major political party has surrendered itself to the zealots of an ideology that has murdered 100 million people is not so hilarious. Maybe if the socialists get in charge here, they won't bring misery and murder. Maybe the ones in Congress now are so smart and competent that they can actually make this blood-splattered ideology work. But it's going to be a hard sell for the Dems to get us to bet our lives on it. This video is a production of the School of the White Crane. Hi, my name is John Brooker. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and please share this video with family and friends and on social media. May God richly bless you, my beloved.